is Wednesday, May 29th, and I just want to kind of sum up a general idea today. This whole financial thing, the whole currency system, financial system, is all going to collapse. They're not going to do it just out of the blue moon. I'd be surprised if out of the blue moon, all of a sudden, with no other event or no other prompting, that all of a sudden Japan's bond market collapses and yields go through, and the Bank of Japan is the only buyer of bonds, and then that cascades over to other stuff. I don't think it's going to be, one bank just, fails, or there's a derivatives fall, or, the raising of interest rates might do it because of the trigger of I know the raising of interest rates would do it because it would trigger the interest rate swaps that none of the banks have any collateral to back up if those interest rates rise. So, but none of that is going to change. Interest rates aren't going to change. The Japanese bond market isn't going to all of a sudden have a failure without some other event, some other black swan event that they're going to be able to hide behind. They need the cover. There's going to be some kind of a cover event. And looking at the scale of the collapse, the scale of the monetary problem and the financial problem, the cover for that has to be equally huge. And that's why, nukes going off in a half a dozen cities would certainly provide that cover. Some kind of Operation Jericho or Blackjack. I think it was Blackjack. Because the people who have caused these problems are going to need something to point to. That event, that's what caused it. Not me and all my fraud. No, that over there. But it's okay. I have the solution. We can't accept any solution from the people that are in power now. They're all going to be pointing, like, anytime they want to take away your rights, what do they say? They're like little parrots. 9/11, 9/11, Al-Qaeda, 9/11. In the future, this monetary collapse and financial collapse, whatever cover they need in order to justify whatever else they're going to do, the confiscation of your deposits, because you're not a depositor, the bank is not your trustee, you are an unsecured creditor. So in order to steal your money as an unsecured creditor, they need that event. And it's going to include capital controls, because they want to control you. Remember, it's not about money. It's not about how much money these guys can get out of you, or how much money they can steal from you, or how much they need, or how much they want. It's about taking away from you the control that money gives you. The richer you are, the more freedom, the more control over your life you have. So if they can take that away, like they've done in Cyprus, it's not so much that what's important about is what is left in the bank after they're done. Say you're a Cypriot and you have 100,000 euros still left in the bank that hasn't been touched because it was under a certain amount. Okay? That's not what's important. What's important is the fact that they won't let you have more than 300 euro a day or a week or whatever it is. I think it's a day. And so because there's the capital control, listen to that word, it's control. It's to limit your ability to fight against the incoming tyranny, the expansion of the police state. They want you they want you to have just enough money to pay your mortgage and to feed yourself and to pay all your bills, and not have any money left over for protesting or traveling or vacationing or leisure or, you know, spare time. They want you working as many hours as possible so that your spare time isn't spent reading or figuring out how the world works. No, they want you dumbed down and working 80 hours a week and no time with your family. You know, that's why they want school earlier, so they can get the kids indoctrinated earlier. So they want this Black Swan event. It's going to have this covered. That's what their plan is. I guarantee it, because they're not going to just collapse the monetary system without that cover. They need that cover. Whatever that Black Swan event is going to be. It could be nukes. It could be a major hack attack. It could be a huge hacking thing where they're going to blame the Iranians or the Chinese and say our banks have all been hacked. All your accounts are zeroed out. Not because the banks were insolvent to begin with. No, because the Chinese hacked it. Like, they need freaking digital currency. Those people don't care about accumulating any more digital currency. Those people want gold. And they're buying every ounce they can find on the market. No, this whatever the event will be orchestrated and perpetrated by the Western banks, by elements within the, you know, who knows, it might come from Brussels, the UN, big international settlements. This is the big one that's going to take down the whole Western side. But they're going to have the solution in place, which is a card with a trackable, you know, ID chip, and then that will evolve into an implantable chip, and they'll all claim safety, hacking, internet security, all that other bogus shit that, you know, they're the ones that they're the hackers. They're the ones that can go into accounts and steal money. You know, but yet they're going to roll out a control grid for us, and it's all about capital controls. It's all about limiting the amount of money that you can have in order to protect yourself against this system coming in. So that's their plan. That's what's going to happen. Our choice is to wait around for this Black Swan, or we force the bank runs. We as a population, and it's not going to take a bunch of us, it'll take less of a percentage than what fought the revolution, which was only like 10%. If we got 5% of the population to pull all of their money out of IRAs, 401ks, mutual funds, money markets, FDIC banks, if we get 5% of the population to completely divorce themselves of this banking system, that would be enough of a run on the banks in order to force the banks out to the open of insolvency. And then, if the Black Swan event will come, the rest of the population is much more likely to look at it like, hey, didn't they just say all the banks just stole all of our money, and now this over here just blew up? What's going on here? Why'd they blow? Something blew up to take my attention off of the fact that I don't have any money left. You see how you change the order of events? If you change it and force the issue, you force the bank run so that the banks are shown to be insolvent before a Black Swan event, then the general population wakes up whenever that Black Swan event happens. Or they may have to totally cancel the Black Swan event if they think that there's too much heat on them from the public. If all the public is clamoring, hey, we want our money, we want a national currency, you know, they start to wake up because 5% of the population caused the bank runs, caused the systemic collapse of the banking system by itself, eliminating the cover. That's the thing, is if you force the bank runs, you get rid of their cover event. And that's why I'm saying it doesn't matter if every single person in the entire country were to bring a gun and a sign down to Washington. It does not matter. 1% of the population pulling their money out of the banking system, it would be far more effective at destroying these bankers' control than anything else you can do. That and your buying habits, you know, especially with your food. If you're buying Monsanto or any of the major, if it's General Mills, Toast, you know, any of the major food companies, I don't buy it. I don't buy any of it. You know, I actually shoot for the ones that supported the California initiative to label GMOs. Those are the top shelf. Those are the ones that I buy first, and then go to organic, and then, you know, try to limit whatever I don't buy that's not organic. But this is what we need to do, is for these bank runs so they don't have the cover of a black swan. And that's all for now.